Hi, and welcome to Rise, Heal, and Grow. I am Leah M. Hill, and this podcast is a production of Apollo Sunrise Center, which is a health, wellness, and spiritual retreat center located in Merrimack, Massachusetts. This show is all about shining light on people who nurture wellness and inspire positive change. And for my first guest here today, there is no better example of someone who inspires positive change, not only for us as adults, but for children as well. My guest today is Grace Marchese, and she is a children's book author, illustrator, and the creator of the Mari Girls. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited for you to be here, and I know we're going to talk a lot about the Mari Girls and what it is.
Thank you.
But I first want to start with, what inspired you to create this?
Oh my goodness. So the Mari Girls, the characters, the stories, they have been with me really since childhood. So I love to say that this is, a project decades in the making.
Wow.
So when it goes out and people say, oh, you're, kind of a overnight success, I'll be like 50 years in the making.
Yeah, right. Nobody knows what went on behind the scenes, right?
Absolutely. So the girls started from my childhood, and I really came from a very hard and humbled background. And I think for me, it was just such a way of being able to rise above the fray. So if there's something in your life that maybe wasn't suiting me, or I thought it should, maybe I didn't feel like I was nurtured in the way that I should have been. Imagination and curiosity was a way for me to find, that. And the girls really came out of that.
So they were like speaking to you through this, helping you through these tough times.
Absolutely. And I say it's almost, think of it like the mist, like there was a mist, right?
Yeah.
So it's always there and it's lingering. And for a child to be able to create these characters, and then I was narrating, and the way that I was narrating, I could have the ending be anything that I wanted it to be. So, I knew instinctively that where I wasn't necessarily only where I would end up, that this could transcend into something more. So honestly, it wasn't until COVID, and I think all of us then became very hermetic, we're introspective, and you stayed in. It was the first time in decades that I didn't have to be anywhere. And so as a child, even though I was very extroverted, but I was introspective. And it gave me a moment during that time where I paused and got to be introspective again, and it really was almost a re-erection of these girls and the characters. Of course, they're more polished and perfected. I'm grown now, and of course, I have a different voice, but the essence are very much written.
That's a beautiful story that they not only served you as a child and growing up through your process and your experiences, and then, like for many people, the COVID pandemic really did change a lot of lives.
Absolutely.
It created space for many of us to rethink what we were doing with our lives, what we wanted to do with our lives. And for you, it gave you the opportunity to just put this together.
Yeah.
So you're not only the author of these books, you are also the illustrator. And we have to talk about your absolutely stunning artwork, which I believe we're going to be able to show some examples of in the editing of this
this
podcast, because there were a couple of things that I felt about your artwork that made it different and stood apart. So first of all, it is explosive with color. I mean, it is just vibrant and alive and attention-getting, and it's also so much detail in the backgrounds. Is the other thing I noticed is a lot of times book illustrators or authors will focus on the main character, and then everything else is kind of blurry or fading out in the background. But your work has so much detail in the background. Is that something you intended? Is it just how you see the scene? How is that for you?
Yeah, and a lot of people, and you're right, so I am the author, the writer, I'm also the illustrator, and a lot of people ask me all the time, so for you, like, what comes first? Right. Do you draw the images? Right. Do you do the background? Do you do the characters? How does that even happen? And as crazy as it may sound, but I know a lot of creators will understand this, it really isn't that the characters come first, or the imagery comes first, or the words come first. Oh. I see it almost as though the whole entire concept is brought to me.
I don't know how that's possible, because that's what I would ask too.
Right.
How does that all come together?
So I remember reading, and I see it almost, think of a movie, like a short film, and it like just passes, right? It just brushes right by you. So yeah. I think of it like it's ready-made. The project is ready-made. The concept is ready-made. I actually work backwards. And it wasn't until I read, so I thought, how is this even happening? And I read from one of my favorite authors, I love her so much, Elizabeth Gilbert, Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah. But she wrote a book, Big Magic. Yes. And she talks about ideas being alive, right? And so all of this creativity, it is as though these entities of the ideas, they come down
all at once,
right? And they're looking for a human collaboration, and you have to watch it, because if you don't listen, they may pass you by. Right. Now, I'm probably not as romantic as she is in that regard. However, I do see it. I do see it ready-made. So the girls were there, and even outside of the Mari girls, I'm writing a screenplay, and I knew exactly, like, beginning, middle, and end, how that was going to. Yeah. So.
Oh, I love that. And thank you for describing it that way, because many of us think of, you would get either one or the other. You'd either see the images and then write the story, or vice versa. But I believe that there are other people out there like you that are getting it all at once. Yeah. And like you described, and if I remember, I read that book, that Elizabeth
Big Magic.
Big Magic.
Yes.
I read it a long time ago. If I remember, there was some scene where somebody, or young girls out in the field, and this idea comes by her like a wind or something, and it's like, if she
like a locomotive, right? She grabbed it by the tail.
Then she was going to lose it. And so that's what you have. Yeah. Only you found a way to keep it, like to see it, to keep it, and then put it into actual manifestation, into form.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
And for me, the lucky part is I really had so many of the characters that they're part of, my spirit and who I am.
Yeah, in your past. So
definitely.
I had the luxury of getting a little sneak peek of one of Grace's books that are coming out very soon. Yes. It's called Penelope and the Pigeon of Piccadilly. And I read it, of course, I was blown away by the artwork too. But what I felt when I first read the book was, I wish I had that when I was a young girl. Yeah. And I remember, I've always been an avid reader all my life, and I remember, reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I read the Nancy Drew stories, A Wrinkle in Time, and they were all great and very engrossing. But I don't remember actually identifying with a character. Yeah. And that's where I think your books are so different, because these Mari girls are so alive.
Well, and thank you so much for saying that. Yeah. And one thing for me, because inclusion, and know that is such a huge, love for me, is to be able to have girls really all over the world that feel like they're included, they're wanted, that there is this, super group out there. And, if somebody, especially as a child, they don't feel wanted, I just read something that really, it hit me to the core. If you're not wanted or don't feel that way, you may spend your entire life trying to feel needed. And that can get you
get in big trouble.
In big trouble.
Definitely.
So with the girls, I really wanted them to be able to, and yourself, Penelope and the Pigeon of Piccadilly. She lives in London. I have the Ladybug and Luna's Latte, and she's in Paris.
In Paris? Oh, I love
Soraya by the Sea is in Greece. I have girls from Nantucket.
Oh, my gosh.
And the Midwest.
Yeah.
Because what I want the girls to be able to do is relate with characters that they see, that they say, wow, I feel that way too.
Right.
And how
though this girl lives on the other side of the world from me, I can still relate to her.
Yes,
she has the same or similar experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they for some reason, they are very much gravitating to the imagery of the girls, and then they want to be able to be part of it, emulate them, not feel alone, all the things that are really important.
It really makes a difference
for girls.
That's incredible. And one of the things that you talk about as well is sustaining a sense of wonder with kids. Kids these days, they grow up in an adult world, right?
Yep.
With the internet and with social media, they are exposed to adult situations and adult things and even adult language now. I don't know if you noticed, it's okay to say the F word on social media. It's okay to go into a gift shop, and there was a whole, row of products with the F word on it. And I was like, that exposes kids before their, their time. And so I'm wondering, how your books can do that, can help kids sustain that sense of wonder.
Well, I think, and you're absolutely right. And most children nowadays, they're kind of born, I always say, with like the mouse in their hand. If a computer goes awry, just ask an 8-year-old. They'll be able to, help you through it. But I knew even as a child that imagination and curiosity, I love to equate it with, it was as though I opened up the door. Somebody gave me this key, and I opened up this door, and I got to go into this world of, it really is true, wonder and awe. And I want girls to live amongst the awe and to stay in that space. I mean, even Einstein, when it comes to wonder and imagination and being in awe, he says that it's more important. Imagination is more important than knowledge. I mean, knowledge can only go so far, right? There's facts, it's orderly, sequential, linear, but imagination, it's the whole entire world, and it encompasses it, and it's limitless. And so that's really very much what I want for girls, is to be in a world of imagination and wonder, and be able to relish in the moment.
Yeah, and being able to embrace that is not only, like you're saying, so important for these young girls.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about adults, so like you, that are in the creative world, or that want to write their book, or want to do their artwork, and maybe they have some imagination, like you said, but they don't know where to start. They're afraid. Do you have any advice for people that might be struggling with that?
Well, first, I would probably say that everybody is afraid.
Yeah.
We're all afraid.
Yeah, we don't want the criticism and the judgment.
Right, and every single one of them. And kind of dialing it back just a little bit with what I was saying about Elizabeth Gilbert, is if you, the collective you, whoever your listeners or the audience is saying, I really want to do that, but I'm frightened to death, or I wouldn't even know where to start. I would say, again, everybody is afraid. And being afraid is good. And with big Dharma comes big responsibility. So there are going to be some things that are thrown at you. And I feel like that will be its compass to see how much you want it, will you be able to go on and, do it even when you feel.
In the face of fear, right.
Because we all do that. And also, you are the only one that can tell your story. So if this is your journey, then it's, I don't want to say like your responsibility, but who better than you to be able, it belongs to you. So it has to be in your voice, right? It has to be in your style, because no one will be able to make it shine and come to life like you can. So, and I would also say that I did it. Yeah. So, I think anyone can do it, and I believe, so they should believe too.
Yeah, and I like too that your belief feels like, here's my vision, here's my my truth, my reality. I'm putting it together in these stories, in these books, in this artwork, and whoever needs to find it will find it.
Yes.
I love that. It's like you're putting it out there, not that it's going to, like with the goal of becoming bestseller, becoming whatever, but you're putting it out there and saying, this is important. It was important for me to tell. This is a way of you telling your story. And it's important enough that I'm going to face my fears,
Absolutely.
Put it out there anyway, risk the judgment and the criticism and all that, and do that. And
right.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. And I was just going to say, for me, this is my purpose.
Yeah.
To be able to encourage girls all around the globe to believe in themselves. It was everything that I would have wanted when you were saying like, wow, where were you, when I was a kid. Yeah. And the best part that I have learned from, having focus groups and having a dream team and having friends and family kind of scour through everything, all of the words, you were kind enough to, hear the stories as well, it is finding this amazing, so children are kind of looking at the future in this beautiful way. It's transcending them to any kind of an option that they could possibly want. It's giving them this hope, and it's helium, and it's making them rise. But what I've noticed is the adults that are reading are getting something different.
Oh.
So they are very much feeling nostalgic, almost like
I
what you did.
Right, that was my feeling as well. Yes.
And they're tying into something that they have really, always wanted, and maybe they desired. It's a remembrance. So when you have like the two of them kind of coming together, it's absolutely,
it's a beautiful combination.
It's amazing because it's generational now.
Right.
And everybody's getting something from it.
And your books transcend time as well,
Oh,
like you said.
thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And so really the Mari Girls books is more than just a series. It's
absolutely.
A brand.
Yes.
A community.
Absolutely.
So what is coming?
Yeah.
Next? What are you seeing for the future?
Thank you. Yes, so it is a trademark brand. We're starting off with a series of children's books, but it will be ultimately animated films, interactive play.
Oh my gosh, I love
toys, games, apparel.
I'm seeing dolls.
Yes, dolls.
I'm seeing dolls. Yeah.
And you were talking a little bit about like imagination too, and I think what better than to have interactive play?
Yeah.
Right? Dolls. I mean, I'm from the baby boom era, and we would play and we'd imagine and we would tell stories, and it builds confidence, camaraderie.
And the imagination. You use your imagination in so many great ways. I love that.
So, and it's a mission, and because I want it to be far more than a brand with product. What I want it to be is almost a philosophy. And having like groups of girls, again, being able to feel empowered, and not only empower themselves, but empower other girls And I really think inclusion is going to do that, to understand that they're so much more the same than they are different. Yeah. And hopefully want to travel. Maybe we'll have some future wanderlusts in the
Yes.
in the future where they say, "I want to go where where they
Paris
are."
and Greece. Yeah, definitely.
And to be able to do it.
That's fantastic. So, just for our viewers and our listeners out there, how can they get a hold of you or learn more about what you're doing?
So right now, I would say probably through social media. We are, because it is such a robust brand, and so we're in process right now of developing, the website. So, but they can check me out, Grace Marchese, on social media, Facebook and LinkedIn, and also the Mari Girls, Mari. Yes, and Mari is actually named after my youngest granddaughter, Mariella. We call her Mari, but Mari means beloved. And what better way for any child throughout the globe, to open up a book, and it's the beloved girls, because that's what they are. To me, they certainly are that.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that gift and your gifts with
Thank
the world.
you.
And I know that the Mari girls have so many positive messages, like you had talked about. But is there one message that you might want your readers to get? If you had to pick one, like one message that you want your readers to walk away with when they read your books.
Oh, God, that, one. That's so hard. But I think if it were one, it would probably be a knowingness, a certainty that they are loved and they are wanted, and they belong here. I would want them to have their heart stay open no matter what is happening. Find joy, chase it.
Yeah.
Build your imagination, let it soar, and probably lastly and most importantly, other than the knowingness of that they are all those things, is that I created this brand with them in mind, because they're worth it.
Yeah.
They're worth it to me. It makes me very emotional, but they are.
Yeah,
they
me
are.
too, because just thinking about the future of our world.
Yeah.
And what it would be like if every single young girl today got that message, held it in her heart as she grew up.
And know you are beloved.
Yeah.
Like, you are the beloved Mari girls. And that's why for me, it's far, I think people can tell, anyone who knows me knows, it's far more than a series of books. It's far more than interactive play. It really is about having children, and I write right now for young girls. Ultimately, I'll be writing for boys and older girls as well, is to stand in their light and to see how rare and they are, because there's only one. And I say this to the girls that I talk to. Do you realize there's only one of you in the whole entire world? So it's up to you to make it shine and be absolutely like amazing. And I would want them to know just how incredible they are.
Thank you so much,
Oh my
Grace.
Goodness, thank you.
This was so wonderful to have you on the very first
episode. This is such a treat.
Such
a treat.
And it's such a pleasure. Thank you for being here so much.
Thank you so
much.
much.
I just want to say thank you so much to the viewers and the listeners today. We have lots more episodes coming up, so please join us again soon. Thank you.